Support for Destination Michigan is provided by the CMU Bookstore. T-shirts, sweatshirts, hats, maroon and gold memories, and an official outfitter of Adidas apparel at the Central Michigan University owned and operated CMU Bookstore. Online shopping 7 days a week at cmubookstore.com. On campus at the University Center, and game day locations at Kelly Short Stadium and the John G. Kohalvi Events Center.
Hello everyone, I'm Matthew Ozanek and welcome to Destination Michigan. We're coming to you today from the town of Shepherd, where they make some of the finest maple syrup in the state. More on that later in the program, but right now let's take a sneak peek at what we have coming up for you in this episode.
We opened the doors 1930 doing Dune rides, and been here ever since.
Bring the whole family along as we take a ride in a Mack Woods Dune scooter through the picturesque Silver Lake State Park.
Needless to say, we know a lot about snowfall, we know how to work in snowfall, and we have plenty of snow for testing whenever we need it.
In the UP town of Iron Mountain, Boss Snowplows is hard at work helping Michiganders keep their roads clear. Plus, Steve Smith visits Stahls Automotive Collection in Chesterfield, and Stephanie Mills spends a day perusing the goods at the Grand Rapids Downtown Market. And finally, we find out just what it takes to create some of the world's finest maple syrup. All those stories are coming your way on this episode of Destination Michigan. For our first stop today, we're going to be heading to Michigan's Sunset Coast. For nearly 90 years, Mack Woods Dune Rides near the town of Mears has been taking people through the Silver Lake sand dunes that stretch along the Lake Michigan shoreline. Stephanie Mills is here and she's going to show us how this family-run business knows a thing or two about having a good time.
It's not exactly like being on a roller coaster, but close.
All right, let's see those hands. Here we go.
We opened the doors 1930 doing Dune rides, and been here ever since.
The sand dunes that line our Great Lakes state are a major draw for visitors from across Michigan and the country. Garrett's great-grandfather realized that way back when.
My great-grandfather, Malcolm Mack Wood, started it. Years ago, he had a little resort down the road, and so he would come up with crazy things to do. And then he figured out, driving around on the dunes, a lot of people had fun doing that. And over the years, people just loved doing the dune rides, and he thought, well, this would be a cool business.
It's such a cool business. It's been taking off ever since. Year after year, more and more people come for rides through these beautiful dunes.
Okay, anybody's first time on a Mack Woods Dune ride? First timers? Oh, cool. Me too. All right, here we go.
I would say there's somewhere around 80 to maybe 100 rides a day we'll do. Average out somewhere around 1,500 people a day. On holidays it's a lot more, but a lot of smiling kids and faces.
Now they're able to take so many people on a trek through the dunes thanks to their souped up dune scooters that can seat up to 20 people. They have about 13 total and they run all summer long. And not only do you find yourself immersed in gorgeous scenery, you get to learn a bit about the area along the way.
Now, Little Saba Lighthouse is about a mile down the beach here, and it's one of the tallest working lighthouses on Lake Michigan.
It's about a 40-minute ride, it's 7 miles. We'll go up and down some big hills. We tell you lots about the dunes, a lot of good information about the dunes and our business and our history. We let you out for about 5 minutes either at the beach or a large hill that overlooks Silver Lake.
Beverly Wood has been a part of this business since 1958. She credits all the workers and their passion as being the heart of this family-driven business.
We do a lot of things together with the employees, which we feel is important, not just working every day. We have fun times together, and I really feel like that's important in our business. And we have such good employees that are so good with all the people that come in. They smile, they give them the information they need, and that's a really important part.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's amazing, but we have work to do year-round here. It's not that we close the door Labor Day and then don't see anybody else until later. So that's what our business is. We have a lot of things to do year-round.
Those things include maintenance on the dune scooters and keeping up the trails that wind through the dunes. After all, Mother Nature, especially in Pure Michigan, can throw plenty of curveballs, rain or shine.
The sand is a lot of obstacles. With the vehicles, for one, sand gets into a lot of things. We have other vehicles we call graders, and they come out and they smooth off the trail. We do that every day, a couple times a day usually.
So while there's plenty of work that goes into running Mack Woods dune rides, there is so much fun to be had here. There is something freeing about riding through the dunes in an open scooter. It's no wonder people keep coming back.
For us, my family and I, the customer is the most important thing to us, trying to give them a good experience. We always look at building a tradition of excellence, making sure families can come back generation after generation. And so kids have fun, grandparents have fun, and keep building on that.
People come here and bring their families. Grandma and grandpa maybe came here on a tour, bus tour, and they go back and tell their family about, how fun we had. And so then they'll come. And this is kind of a thing that happens. They go, year after year, we'll get some new people. It's kind of like our drivers, our return people. We have a driver this year who worked for us 40 years ago. He was a doctor for 35 years, decided to retire from a doctor, and now he's a dune scooter driver again.
So before you go out and spend big money on your own dune buggy, why not strap yourself into a Mack Woods dune ride when they open their doors to the public in mid-May? As we are all painfully aware, we can experience several seasons in a single day here in our beloved Great Lakes State. So we figured, why should Destination Michigan be any different? So for our next story, we're trading in the sun and sand for snow and ice. Steve Smith is heading to the Upper Peninsula to show us who's boss in the town of Iron Mountain.
Iron Mountain is home to 7,400 UP residents and a company that took the world by storm.
Boss as a brand has been around since about 1985. Back in 1985, the Bruley family purchased a patent from a man up near Calumet, Michigan for a plow that he had taken, called a straight blade plow. He had the idea to cut that piece of steel in half and put a hinge in the middle so that he could form something that looks like a V plow. So this is the brand that originated the V plow back in 1985.
The Bruleys knew nothing about making snowplows. They own Systems Control, a manufacturer of electrical panels for the utility industry. The nuclear accident at 3 Mile Island had a severe impact on their operation, forcing them to rethink their business plan.
They didn't want to lay people off, they didn't want to lose their business, so they took this brand, this Boss Snowplow, brought it in, and they figured it out. They hired smart people, did the, what you call it, kind of the Northwoods work ethic, where people just kind of figure it out. They figured out how to build good plows, they set up distribution, and here we are today. All these years later, we're one of the #1 leading manufacturers of snowplows really in the world.
And from there, things snowballed like a powerful nor'easter.
In the beginning, there was a man we were just talking to that's right over here that's been here since the beginning of the brand, who put the first Boss sticker on the first Boss plow. And he always tells the story, man, I can remember when we bought this and I said, there's no way we'll ever sell more than 200 of these. And then he said, one day somebody said we're gonna sell 5,000 of them this year. He goes, there's no way we'll ever sell 5,000 of them. And that number just kept going up, and he just remembered it every tier saying, there's no way, there's no way. We're shipping in over 25 countries right now from right here in Iron Mountain, Michigan, which is a great story, right? So we're over into Europe. We are actually distributing to China. So we have a couple distributors over there that are buying our products from them and then reselling them over in China. And then we're over in Japan, all around the world. Basically, wherever there is snow, there's a demand for our products. The snow that we get up here, not just here in Iron Mountain, but just a little bit north and west of us, 200 to 300 inches of snowfall annually. So needless to say, we know a lot about snowfall. We know how to work in snowfall. We know how to design plows for snowfall, and we have plenty of snow for testing whenever we need it.
Boss is boss to more than 300 employees, a group of people who demonstrate the pride they have in their work with every plow produced, and the responsibility they shoulder for the plow jockeys bracing for the next blizzard.
The people that drive our products are what we call restoring order. They're restoring order in the world for people like you and I that just have to get to work or just have to get to school. or even more importantly, have a business they want to open up. They need a parking lot cleared and sidewalks cleared. So time is money. Quality equipment is absolutely critical for them to achieve success and to get the parking lots open so that those businesses can be open at the beginning of the day.
So as the snow subsides and summer sinks in, set your sights on Iron Mountain and a tour of Boss Snowplows.
There's over 200 waterfalls up here, right? You got Lake Superior, you've got the old mines, you've got all of those things to come up and see. So if you're up here and you've got a couple hours that you want to fill and you'd like to see how our snowplows are made, contact us and we'll get you on the schedule.
And now Steve Smith is departing the Great White North, hopping in the Destination Michigan mobile and heading to the town of Chesterfield, just north of Detroit. He's going to introduce us to the fine folks at Stahls Automotive Collection for a story that mixes mechanical muscle, music machines, and memorabilia.
The most common reaction we get is, especially from people who live in the area, is I never knew this place existed. I never knew it was here. We hear that probably at least 20, 30 times in a day that we're open.
Stahls Automotive Collection is tucked away in a nondescript industrial park in Chesterfield. And yes, this is a routine sight in the Stahl neighborhood.
Mr. Stahl started out collecting around 30 years ago, and basically it started with one car, Model A, 1930 Model A. And when he bought that car, he bought it to basically to share the history with his kids and to get them to appreciate the history of the older cars. And from that point, it just rolled on into this.
This is a collection of 160 cars, 80 to 90 of which are on the floor at any time. We'll get back to the cars in a minute, but our tour takes a twist of Stahl's other collection. Music machines.
He visited the Millhouse collection that used to be in Boca Raton, Florida, which is now closed. And when they closed, they had sold off many of their items. He went down there with the thought of purchasing one of the musical items and came back with a few more.
This particular machine here, the Mortier dance organ, was used at 17 different venues during the course of the year in Europe. They would set this up at dance halls, beer gardens, different types of events where large crowds would be able to dance and drink beer and have a good time and listen to some great music.
And does the name Wurlitzer ring any bells in the music business?
The Wurlitzer is actually one of one built for the Wurlitzer family down in Cincinnati, Ohio. It actually came out of their private home. Mr. Wurlitzer built it to spec for his home. There's about 1,524 pipes that are connected to that Wurlitzer theater organ, and the sound is pretty impressive.
The music machines are a rare treat all by themselves, but the cars, all those polished curves, the chrome, the power, the extravagance.
In our 1934 Duesenberg has lighted vanity mirrors in the rear. Some of them have foot warmers that you would actually put coal into and it would heat up and you could put your feet on them.
Mr. Stahl only purchases cars with a story. The tale of the lost 1931 Cord LeGrand Speedster is rich in mystery and intrigue. Flashback to the days of speakeasies and a car that vanished off the face of the earth.
This is a recreation of the lost Cord. And the original car was built in 1931 and was shown in Paris in the New York Auto Salon and had been shown everywhere and was widely received, and many photographs were taken of the car. And by the end of 1931, actually on Thanksgiving Day, was the last time the car had been seen. And it disappeared, and no traces have been found since. But this car has many beautiful secrets, and this is the favorite of most. Now, most people think, oh, drinking and driving, it was not a problem in those days, but Prohibition ending in '33, it was a problem. There is also a compartment on the driver's side that has your cigars.
At Stahls, you can get up close and personal with the cars. Some you can sit in, listen to the purr of the engine, and smell that car smell. The leather, the oils, Or just relax and tap your toe to the music.
We have many couples that will come here, and the man is a gearhead and wants to come and see a car museum, and the wife just does not want to come and see another car museum, and then when she gets here, does not want to leave. I've had gentlemen come up to me and tell me that their wives come back more often than they do. We have so much for everybody to see and hear. I believe by marrying the cars and the music together is what really makes this a special place.
And your visit is made possible by a staff of volunteers who take on the roles of customer service, custodian, and curator.
It's a head rush. It's an ego trip for me, just to be associated with these cars. Occasionally we get to drive them.
Come down and see us sometime. We have a lot to offer. I'm sure you'll go away from here in awe because of the fact that the stuff we have here is just unbelievable. So come down and see us sometime.
Stahls is open to the public every Tuesday from 1 to 4 and on the first Saturday of every month from 11 to 4. Admission is free, but the experience is priceless. And now Stephanie Mills is getting behind the wheel, and she's going to take us to the Grand Rapids Downtown Market, a place where vendors are artists in their own right, creating savory dishes and offering up your favorite Michigan goodies.
I feel like it's very diverse. It's like a mini community inside of a community.
I think the camaraderie of having a lot of people around, both customers and business owners, that enjoy food. And what makes people happy around here is food and drink and such.
There is so much to see, to taste, and to celebrate at the Grand Rapids Market. To be honest, I didn't know where to look first. It was a feast for my eyes the moment we walked in.
In the market hall, we really focus on food. So we have a butcher, we have a fishmonger, bread bakery, sweet bakery, spice, olive oil, you name it, we have it.
No joke, you can't go hungry here, and you also won't find any national chain businesses here, but you will discover something you've never tried or seen. That's the whole idea behind the space that first opened its doors 5 years ago.
About 8-9 years ago, a group of folks came and presented the idea of a public market to a local foundation that builds economic impact projects. And people travel all over the world and they see public markets, and they came and said, Grand Rapids would be a great place for something like this. They developed this project, and it really is more than a public market. What you see and what you walk around and what you buy, the food products and so forth, that's just really part of what we do here. It was really designed to be a real dynamic place.
Michigan-focused and owned restaurants and products are at the heart of the market. It is a great way to explore the culinary side of our great state, along with tasting cuisine from around the world.
I think that food these days is getting more and more important to people, to have quality food, and realizing how much of a footprint on the earth we're making by having trucks running all over the place, and the shorter amount of time you can get your food to the table and have fresh. I think people enjoy that. And so I think the fact that, we're all trying to use as much Michigan as we can. We're supporting Michigan breweries, Michigan wineries, Michigan creameries. There are cool companies to work with all over that can provide us awesome goods.
It's definitely exciting to be a part of a community and know that you're impacting by having your cultural food, and also introducing customers or just new tourists or resident of a quality of food that they never would have tried before.
Not only does the Grand Rapids Market offer an extensive selection of high-quality foods and drinks, you can also learn to cook in their incubator kitchen. This is a space, too, where budding chefs and businesses can put their talents on display and potentially bring their crafts to the market full-time.
We have about 40 food startup businesses that come to us with ideas, whether it's a salsa or a cookie or vegan meat, what have you, and we really have the infrastructure up there to help support startup businesses. So it's really an economic impact project.
The opportunities that enrich the market don't stop there. They also include a large greenhouse where they grow vegetables that eventually make their way into the market. They also host weddings here and summer camps. In addition to the market, which is open year-round, they host Michigan pop-up markets in the summer with a slightly different flair.
One of the ways that we do support local businesses that are not food-related businesses are we offer every month in the summer, we do 5 events that are called the Made in Michigan pop-up market. So we allow farmers to come into that as well, but we feature up to 100 different startup businesses that are all locally owned, different kinds of products from soaps to cards to blankets to barrettes to pillows, you name it.
So if you're looking for a locally brewed cup of coffee, some fresh from the Great Lakes fish, or you want to taste something new, you'll find it here at the Grand Rapids Market.
I think public markets are always a destination, and it allows people the opportunity to try something new and innovative and interesting.
I think my favorite part is seeing the joy on people's faces when they're coming here and just enjoying what the food is all about, what the place is all about.
Last year alone, nearly 1 million people paid a visit to the Grand Rapids Downtown Market to sample their abundance of Michigan-made goods. And speaking of Michigan-made, for our next story, Steve Smith is back and he's going to tap into a springtime tradition and show us how Michigan maple syrup is made.
Maple syrup is pretty unique how it comes out of a tree like water and comes into this evaporator and turns into stuff that you put on pancakes and waffles.
Making maple syrup is a rite of spring and a Michigan tradition. Turning sap into syrup dates back thousands of years.
We learned from the Native Americans, and they were the first ones to make maple syrup.
Sugar bush originates among the tribes of the Great Lakes region. So it's been a practice that something we've done forever. I mean, those traditions go back further than any of us can remember or even were recorded. It was the only source of sugar that Anishinaabe had. It was something that was done annually. And you know, the maple syrup is actually looked at as almost as a medicine. It was an important source of food when we were running out of other things. By the time springtime rolled around, a lot of the meat that we had dried and preserved for the winter to get us through the winter, a lot of those things were gone. And so the sugar was a big source of food for us during that time of the year when it was really hard for us to go out and harvest and hunt.
It's a harsh winter and you need to survive. You know, we had to survive. And I just wholeheartedly believe that's a gift to us because obviously it probably saved a lot of lives, you know, coming down from a harsh winter. It was like a family affair. They'd all go to the woods and they'd actually set up like a camp and like live out there because it's such a long process that it only makes sense that you live there for a while until the sap's done.
The Saginaw Chippewa Indian tribe carries on the tradition today, teaching the legends and techniques handed down from their ancestors with a new generation.
Grandmother said they broke a branch back in the day, and somebody tasted it. They tasted the liquid and it tasted good. So now other people started, you know, like letting it drain into a pot, and then they started cooking it, and then it started turning like they wanted it. Like, well, they didn't know what they were doing, but they let it boil down to where it got to where it was sugar.
The maple syrup making process has advanced over the years. The tribe uses a small wood-fired evaporator to boil the water out of the sap. More of a home-cooked approach compared to the sugar bush operation in Shepherd, where maple syrup gets its own festival.
It's a pretty small town there's only like a population of 2,000 people, but I bet Shepherd's famous for our maple syrup.
Well, originally we had an older, smaller, wood-fired evaporator, and there was no reverse osmosis. If you got in trouble boiling, you didn't just shut the fire off. You know, you had to deal with the wood fire. We needed to expand to get a bigger evaporator, and this evaporator behind me is a 3.5 million BTU natural gas evaporator.
And while the maple syrup making methods may vary, there's a spring tradition that connects Shepherd and the Saginaw Chippewa Indian tribe. It's all about giving back and family.
We enjoy the benefits of what it does for our community because all the money that is made through the Sugar Bush and the festival goes back into our village in recreation.
But it's something that we want people to understand is a gift, and we want to share it and teach with it.
It means a lot to my family, but it also means a lot to the other families that are involved. And you see grandparents to the parents to the grandkids, getting involved from generation to generation.
My dad started doing this a couple years ago, and I decided to help him with collecting and see how this operation works, and I've been doing it ever since then, and it's a pretty fun hobby when I have free time.
I love it, and I've been here, 27 years. Started out as a young guy, and now I'm an old guy.
You can be a part of the Maple Syrup Spring Celebration with the friendly folks here in Shepherd. Just mark your calendars for the Shepherd Maple Syrup Festival that's held the last full weekend of April. And with that, this episode of Destination Michigan comes to a close. Thank you all for stopping by. We'll see you next time. Now you can enjoy the Destination Michigan experience anytime, anywhere, online. Just go to pbs.org or download the PBS app to your smartphone or tablet. Search Destination Michigan and relive all of your favorite stories from our beloved Great Lakes state.